de les accueillir bien fort parce que à chaque année où ils viennent, ils nous font vraiment plaisir et c'est toujours un honneur de les recevoir. Là, on a Alexandre Triffault avec LENZE qui est anglophone. Et je vous demanderai, s'il vous plaît, de bien vouloir accueillir Alexandre Triffault et LENZE.
Okay, so thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. I will just do a very quick introduction of who we are. I'm Alexandre. I'm specialized in security, in physical security, to access IT stuff. So I don't need your password. I don't need to go into your firewall. I can just go directly into your server room. And Till is doing the same. So Till LENZE is a tactical locksmith from Germany, in Berlin. And he is also specialized in this kind of stuff, but more on the complicated stuff when you don't have access to high-end tools, if you are in another country or if you have some trouble and you cannot really use what you want to use. You have to do it only on your own. So he will explain you a lot of stuff he can do and you can do if you have trouble.
Thank you. So this is a workshop about basic things, mechanical manipulation of locks. I mostly live unplugged, so I don't have a lot of knowledge about my computer or anything else digital. And there are things in life that you cannot, where you cannot help you with a escape button or Alt F4 button. So this is about the moments in life. Maybe you locked yourself out, or your parents locked you in your room. You have to get out, or you're a hostage, for example, and you have to find some way to get out of this facility. So So you will have to help yourself with stuff which surrounds you, and stuff which surrounds you. We work with this a long time. When we were primates, we started to find sticks and stones and build some tools out of this. So this is since a long time, this is into our bones, into our genetics, and we can use it today, same as we used it since 100,000 of years. So I start with a common pin tumbler lock. It's a 5-pin cylinder, like we have it everywhere in the world, and in most European countries. We have these locks with 5 pins, very simple. We have a housing, we have a plug, we have the pin chambers and a C-clip. We have, here we can see it again, we have a keyway, we have a housing shell, we have key pins, the plug surrounding the pins. On the key we have the bow, a blade, the cutting depth and the stop, so we cannot enter too far into the core of the cylinder. Here we have an explosion view of the lock, where you can see clearly the springs and the manufacturing way of the lock. So we have, at the downer part, we have the springs which push the pins up into the core. We have the driver pins, the key pins. The key pins touch the key at the key cuttings. We have the plug where the pins are inserted. The C-clip which holds the plug into the cam driver, and all this is stuck into the housing and operates if you insert the proper key or you use manipulation tools. This is how the right key would operate the lock. If you take the wrong key, it will, of course, not. No problem. If you insert the wrong key, it will, of course, not operate. This is how lockpicking works. We insert the tension wrench, we insert the lockpick, and we set the first pin. And this training lock is only one pin to make clear how it works. We have this in a usual training cylinder or in a usual door cylinder, we have 5 pins. And what I'm trying is to find out which pin I have to push first. So it's a little like a 3D puzzle. You try to find out which heights you have to find and in which manner they shall be picked. If you pick the first pin first or the last pin first is always different. So what we can do, most callings I have in locksmithing are for doors which are not locked. So you went out and you forgot your key and you just wanted to buy some papers or some bread or so, and so the door is quite like open. Because you didn't use your key to lock the door, you just threw it closed. It's only the small part up here which holds the door locked. So you can move this easily with several very simple tools that are made real quick. For example, from a bottle, you can find it everywhere in the trash or on the street somewhere. Throw it away. You can just get a knife or a scissor and cut a pipe out of it, as you can see here. If you cut the pipe in half, if you cut the pipe out, you cut it in half. You remove the plastic. Cut it in half, and you a little round the edges so you can work more smoothly. This is all you need to do. You insert the shim into the door. You search for the right spot where you hear the snapper run, the piece of metal I just showed before. And you push against this and you pull the handle towards you. If you pull the handle towards you, you will release the holding part and you will move it very easily. Same thing you can do with a wire from a bicycle, for example, from the inside of a bicycle wheel. You clip it off. You make a wire just like this. You bend it in this manner. Yeah. Later at 20 o'clock we will have a workshop where you can see all this in real life, and we can make some tools like this if you like. So this is how easy it can be to open a unlocked door. So my advice is, if you have a lock in your door, you should use it, because I know a lot of people, if they call me, they closed the door, they went to work or went to some appointment because they thought, okay, it's I closed my door, what shall happen? I call till later, and 6 hours the door is like, how you see, it's like open. So if you have a lock in your door, then use it. And most people have these 5-pin tumbler locks, which are not really strong. We will see it later. Now we will see how easy it is to make a copy of standard pin tumbler lock keys. here we have a... okay. I'm sorry. Okay. Sorry, I messed it up. We are now at padlocks. If you have a padlock, it's sometimes not the easiest way to pick it. You can also bypass padlock easily. This foil is took off a cola can, or doesn't matter the brand, but of a can. You cut it in this shape, you fold it, you bring it to this shape, and it looks kind of like this. You insert it into the padlock, you insert it to the side where the bar is not, and you turn it around to the other side. So it pushes the bar to the inside and frees the shackle, so you can pop the shackle up, and it works like this. We insert it at the side where the bar is not, we twist it around, and we pop the shackle. And this is very weak metal. It's only maybe a 1/3 millimeter of aluminium foil. So if we have a little stronger metal, it will go much a little better. It still works. You don't break it with this, and you will not see any big traces on the lock. We will now do a small live demonstration of this. Alex will do this with the shim we made. So you see, it's not a video fake. It's we can also do it in real life. Okay. So Alex inserts the shim into the side of the shackle where the... it's already opened. We did it just like we showed it. And it doesn't, the funny thing is about this is it works on very expensive locks, often same nice as it works on very expensive locks. Sometimes it makes no big difference if it costs €5 or €50. Same bypassing method we have for handcuffs. It works on simple handcuffs, but not on double locked handcuffs. So if you have handcuffs which can be stopped, so your hands don't get twisted or too much tension from it, then it will not work. But on simple handcuffs, which are up to €50 or so, it will work very easily. We have here handcuffs that cost about €70 and a piece of metal that I found. We can see it in the video. The handcuff is closed. I take my piece of metal. It's about 0.4 millimeters thick. I insert it into the shackle hole of the handcuff. I fit it in, and then I have to close the handcuff a little bit to get the metal in deep enough, but mostly you have a little space. You only have one try. And then you pull the handcuff open. There are several kinds of attacks we can use on these handcuffs, and Alex will show other one right now. You can take the other side as well, then you don't have to push the shackle in, you can directly release it. Alex puts the handcuffs around his wrist.
Maybe this is a bad idea.
We don't have a key for it, so it has to work. He puts the metal part in, and it opens to the other side even better than with the saw side. Yeah. Okay, Alex says he will pick it as well. It's also not no high end tool. You need a usual tension wrench like this, bended metal somehow. You just unlock it, like with the key. Okay, and it works on French police handcuffs as well. So I like this one. You can, if you have some window wipers from cars, you don't, please don't go around and just take them off a car or so. I don't advise you to do this, but if you go to, for example, a car doctor, a mechanic for cars, or if you look around the street, you will find some flat metal, but this metal is one of the best. I like it. It's spring steel. It bends, but it's still very hard metal. So you extract the metal parts from the window wipers. You can bend it with a multi-tool or what you have. You can also bend it in small metal holes or door frames or whatever. You bend your tension wrench, which you need to pick locks. You can bend several ones because you will have several kinds of keyways that you want to fit it into. And you will need a small file or a stone or something like that to make some shapes of lockpicks. This is pretty nice. In some countries, you're not allowed to take your lockpicks with you. But if you're a lockpicker or you work with locks and so, you really want to have this because you buy in foreign countries, you buy some real cool locks and you think, oh cool, now I have to wait 3 weeks until I'm home and I need my, and I have to, then I can use my lockpicks. You can make it on your own, or you have other purposes and you cannot bring tools or don't want to see people how you bring tools into the country. So you can make pretty nice tools of these and you can bend the metal, for example, in several shapes to make it a little more handy, or you take some plastic, you can heat it by 100 degrees roundabout, well less than 100 degrees. So if you have a water cooker, you throw the plastic balls inside, it connects, you take some small parts of the plastic, you wrap it around your metal parts. That's what it's bent for. So you have a strong grip on it, and you have nice grips for lock picking. Because if you pick a long time on locks, your hands are very thankful if you put something soft around it. So as you can see on the picture, now you have the tension wrenches, you have the lock picks, and you have 2 locks which are picked. You have one pin tumbler lock and one dimple lock. And you can, this is not the only thing you can pick with these simple tools. If you really get used to make your own lock picks, it's very easy to make same good lock picks from yourself than you can buy. So there are some more locks I've picked with it, and it works real fine. And here we have a small video as an example how easy it can be to pick a padlock, for example, if it's not shimmable. This one, you cannot shim this padlock with the aluminium foil. Alex will show this in a short demonstration. You will try. It's really that easy. You insert the tension wrench. The tension wrench brings a little of pressure to the pins, so they bind. And he just rakes a few times through the padlock, which is not easy to cut. It would be a little hard. You would have to find a good saw to cut this, or you would have to get a grinder to open it. You cannot do this with a usual bolt cutter or so. So the lock picks are the better choice, I think. These are not high security locks that we pick here. That's why it works so easy, so quick. But these are the common locks you find all around you. You will not. Most people don't even want to put maybe 50, 60 euro on a cylinder which secures your home. So this is, I work as a locksmith now since maybe 8 years, and the most, maybe 80% or maybe also 90% of the locks are 5-pin cylinders, 5-pin dimple cylinders. I have less than 1% where is a high security or special lock in the door. This is a common 5-pin cylinder. I insert the tension wrench to apply some pressure on the pins. I rake through. No, I set the pins single. I set the next pin, and I'm done. I open the lock. Now, if you pick the lock and you turn it one time all the way around, it will lock at the 12 o'clock position. If you lock it again at the 12 o'clock position, maybe the door is double locked, you have to pick it again. That would be stupid. So we pick the lock like Alex does it. Not maybe, he will do it, but when we tried it, it went much quicker. It's open. Yeah. Okay, we have here at the upper side we have a plug spinner which is bought. It costs about 90 euro. It's a good tool if you work as a professional or if you're a lockpicker and sometimes you open doors. I advise you take the tool for 90 euro. If you don't have it or if you can't afford it, you can take this little piece of metal you just saw, put a usual kitchen rubber to it, and you do as you see on the picture. You hold, or as you see in the movie now, you insert the metal part, the spring steel, you insert it into the lock, you hold it, and you let the rubber fly. And what happens is, the mechanic of the lock is too lazy to realize that it's been thrown over the position of locking. So it goes over the locking position, and you can unlock it again and again and again. You can do this as often as you want. In the vise in the door, you can only do this 2 or 3 times. Now, sometimes it might be necessary to copy a key. So if you have a pin tumbler lock key, this will work pretty good. We took a very standard lock and keys for it. You can also on locks or cylinders with a security card or very high security keys, you can do the same thing. You take a cola can or a Pepsi can, you cut it into a pipe, you open it, you lay the key that you want to copy on the aluminium foil, and you take a marker. The marker has to connect to the metal, of course, and you draw your lines. When you see, now you draw the outlines, so you have to cut the inlines. If you cut the outlines, it will be too big or too thick for the to really duplicate the key. You will have to cut the inlines to have a proper duplication of the key. There it is. It looks almost same, and it's very weak. But still, we have here a demo lock, so you can clearly see what happens. You have to carefully insert the aluminium foil key into the lock. Until all pins are set in the correct manner. and it's unlocked. So the key almost exactly fitted. I had to cut one or two cuts a little deeper. If you put it in, if you do this in a door, you cannot, because the key is so thin, you cannot rotate it at the locking point of the lock in the door. So you take a tension wrench to it and turn it around, and you can open and close the lock as often as you want. I used now this key maybe 20 or 40 times, and it's still working. Alex will show this in live with a plastic key. What we used as a plastic door shim, we can also use as a material to copy the key. He inserts the plastic key into the core of the cylinder. It's set. He inserts the tension wrench to it, and he can turn it as often he wants to the one side, to the other side, so you can easily copy a key like this on a cheap way. So, if I explain this to people, friends of mine, for example, I show it to them, they try it 3 or 4 times at my door, at their door, and they say, oh, it's so cool, it's so cool. And if the emergency case comes, they will stand there and they forgot how it works and where the positions of the snapper is, for example. So please, try this at home. Before, if you come to an emergency situation, you will be nervous and you will not remember right. So take this at home and try this at home. And what I wanted to say at the beginning is that from the evolution, when we were primates, we were used to use stuff which was laying around us. So we could build tools about a few 100,000 years before we could speak. So this is really deeply into us, and everybody can use this, and it's very easy to do. If you try this, if you if you do a little reconnaissance on what you have to work with. So if you're in an emergency situation, maybe you can take some of these things with you, and maybe you can remember with all the digital stuff that from the DNA we're 89.5% chimp. So it's we can play a lot with this stuff. Thank you.
So, do you have any question?
Good afternoon. You showed us how to duplicate a key with aluminium, but is it possible to create a key to unlock a lock when you don't have the original one?
You can do that, but you need to take the lock apart. Or if you can't do it, you need to make what we call impressioning, but you need an actual blank. You cannot do it from a piece of very thin paper or metal, but technically you can make a key from a lock you don't have any key for.
Thank you.
Hello. First of all, very nice talk. It was very informative. You showed us 2 different padlocks, and you said that one of them cannot be shimmed.
Yes.
Why is that?
I will show the video. Yeah, you can go. So, yeah, on this one, you don't have the space. Oh, sorry. I didn't pay. Oh, fuck. Okay, so here on the side, you don't have enough space to put the shim. Or you could maybe put a shim, but you cannot turn it. So basically, you can't shim it.
I see. Thank you.
Any question? Yes? will make a bonus with this.
Is there any way to unlock a ball-based key? You know, the key with the ball on the hole in it, and it's without the pin.
Okay. What was the question exactly? En français, sinon.
Est-ce qu'il y a moyen de...
Okay, you mean this kind of lock, dimple pin?
Yes.
So what is the question? How can we pick it?
Yes.
You can show the tool. Actually, you just need a tool designed to pick them. Wait, I will just make the focus. So you just need a design with a kind of flag on the side. You can pick it exactly the same way. These locks are not more secure. It's just more convenient because you can use the key this way or this way, and they are sold twice the price because of this, but this is not more secure.
So is there any lock secure?
Yes, of course, there are a lot, but they are very expensive. So the purpose of this talk is to show what you can do with more than 50% of locks, but of course there are better locks, but you don't find them a lot and you need to pay a lot to have them. But yes.
Thanks.
J'ai pas bien vu comment vous avez fait avec l'élastique pour ouvrir la serrure.
So the question is, what did we do with the rubber band? When you pick a lock, if you need to make 2 turns, you need to pick it 2 times. Because when you make 1 turn, it will go back to 0 and it will lock again. If you go very fast to minus 10% or 10 degrees to plus 10 degrees, the springs don't have enough time to go up. So with a rubber band, you are quicker than the springs. So what you do is making that you don't need to pick it twice, but you need to pick it 1 time before. It's not like magic. But it makes you, if you spend 20 minutes to pick it, you just need a few seconds to make the second turn. You want to say something? You can come at the workshop. Actually, there will be a nice workshop organized by the French organization of lockpicker. So please come here tonight and you will be able to play with everything we have here and a lot of locks, a lot of tools available for you. So please come and you can practice if you like. Thank you. So thank you very much at first, and if there is no more question, I will just show you a bonus, if you like.
So we have a... Okay, so we have a heavy-duty padlock, like this. And Alex will now bypass it by moving a part, or the part which releases the shackle in the back of the core. He inserts his tool, which is like a needle, and grabs into the mechanism of the heavy-duty padlock, and he bypasses it.
So, as Till said, try it. And try it on your own locks, not mounted on your door, because if you do something wrong, you may break your door. But try your own security to see if it's any good, and maybe you can buy a better lock. Thank you very much.
Merci infiniment pour cette conférence. La prochaine conférence va être donnée en français, je pense qu'elle va tout autant vous intéresser. Elle est réalisée par 2 Juliens. Non, ils sont 2. C'est pas son nom de famille. Et on va vous parler de comment est-ce qu'on peut transformer une application de dating en système de géolocalisation GPS. Donc vous allez voir que ce que vous croyez être une innocente application pour s'amuser et passer un peu de temps,
Donc on a développé un outil